Alright, what's up guys? So today what we're going to be talking about is how to adjust your drum brakes. Alright, so that drum brakes actually have a little adjuster in there. Usually they can self-adjust when you go either backwards and hit the brakes or apply the emergency brake or a technique like that. Every car manufacturer is going to switch it up a little bit, but for the most part it's all about the same process. But if you're in the case of this Chevy Sonic, in order to even take the drum off, you're going to need to get a T30 star bit to get that screw out. And I would keep the emergency brake on for that part. That way you can actually get that screw out. It's only a little overhand tight, so it won't be too difficult. And like normal, you're going to need to jack your car up. Definitely support it with jack stands, just in case. And all you're going to really need for this is a screwdriver, a flat-headed screwdriver. So we'll go ahead and take this drum off, and we'll see what we're looking at. Okay, so a drum brake is set up pretty old school versus the caliper disc style. You have your two pads. You have your brake master cylinder, or your brake cylinder, that is. You have your adjuster lock, the adjuster, a tension spring up top, a tension spring in the bottom. And then in the back there, that green thing is actually my emergency brake cord. Most cars, a lot of cars are brake guided, cable guided for the emergency brake, just in case these were to fail, or all of them would fail in that matter. So basically what you have to do, you don't have to mess with this spring, you don't have to pull it off, you don't have to pull these springs off the shoes. All you have to do is, it's more of like a trial and error type thing. So let's say you just put new pads on and you've reset this down here, this self-adjuster, all the way back. You can see there's a little gap in there. Now when you go to adjust it, all you're going to do is take your flathead screwdriver, get into where that gear is, and you're going to basically go up with the gears. So you go in, go at a straight angle, and you just slide it up, and you'll actually see it start to spin to tighten. Now mine's already tight, so it won't work, but you can release this. You can release that thing that holds the gear in place. This basically will release every time you snap on the brake, so this will pull. So basically the emergency brake will pull this tab out, that tab will pull this spring back, this spring will pull the locking guide back, so which in turn would make it actually flex and pull away from that gear. So every time you're doing that, it would actually adjust the cog, adjust the cog, adjust the cog. Now you have this right here, which is basically a little locking setup. Make sure that that ring is in that groove, because if it's not in that groove, this is not going to want to self-adjust itself. So just keep in mind to keep everything the way it should be. Don't shut that washer down against this without it being in that right locking position. That way it can actually adjust itself when you're either going in reverse or however your car is set up. But overall, that's pretty much it. And then what you'll do every time you make an adjustment, like let's say you go half a circle, half a turn over, you'll put your rotor back on. And now what you're going to want to listen to, with the emergency brake off and all that, you're just going to want to listen for some slight drag. So you can hear mine's dragging a little bit. But that's what you're going to want to do. And let's say that you don't hear any drag like that, or maybe it's just not sensitive enough for your liking, then what I would do, pop this back off, get it back in there, and readjust the spring. But just keep in mind, if you go too far past the spring, if you go to tension it too tight, then when you actually go to try to put this back on, it's not going to want to go on because the brake pads are too far engaged out, so it won't actually, it passes the drum limit. So then you'd have to literally take that spring off, that top spring off, which you could take it off with a flathead screwdriver too, but it's a lot simpler with like a spring puller. And then you'd have to kick it down a couple notches and then put it back on and then readjust it from there. But overall, that's how you get in there. Every car, I mean, some cars have these little locking screws, like this Chevy Sonic here. This one has a T30 star bit that's gonna lock it on. Some cars don't have it. I've had now older Civics now that haven't had it, and old Nissans that didn't have it. But overall, that's how you're gonna adjust it. So I'll probably go over, because it has some slight drag, so I'll probably go over a couple more teeth. So I went over about 7 more teeth there. And if you want, just to try to putting the drum on easier, you can actually compress the these two cylinders in. Slide the brakes together. And there you go, it grabs a little bit more too. Now basically what you'd have to do is you just have to keep adjusting it to your tightening, your desired tightness, I guess you could say. But overall, that's all you have to do. So let's say you threw on a new rotor or a drum, you threw on a new drum, you threw on new brake shoes, cleaned everything up in there, and then you went to throw everything back on, you got in your car and you went to go hit on the brakes, and you're like, wow, these are new brakes, this sucks, they're not even braking. Well, that's because you still have to tension it. I mean, it probably would auto tension itself, but it's going to take a little bit before that happens. That's not going to be instant. But that's how you do it, guys. So hopefully this helps you out a little bit. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop them in the comments. I'll more than happy to be able to help you guys out if I can. But that's going to be it for this video. Like always, if you thought this video helped you out a little bit, go ahead and leave a like. If you want to see more videos within car stuff like this and so on, go ahead and subscribe to the channel down below. And like always, if you want to see every video I put out, go ahead and hit the notification bell next to the subscribe button. But besides that, you guys, now you guys have a good idea of how to adjust / change your brakes if you have drum brakes. Now this applies for pretty much all drum setups, honestly. It really does. Not much changes besides some have a spring on that little locking tab that actually locks that gear in place, but this one doesn't have a spring to lock it in place. But yep, hopefully it helped, guys. Have a nice day. Till next time.